Warner Brothers is reportedly nearing a deal to make a Harry Potter television series at HBO Max. Apparently, the deal has yet to be finalized, but Harry Potter creator J.K. Rowling, who has infamously made anti-trans statements herself, is said to be potentially in charge of development. And again, I get it. Like, if it's like it's something you can't see past, fine. Maybe don't enjoy Harry Potter anymore. But like, for everybody who grew up on Harry Potter, I don't think they should just have to abandon it because they completely disagree with or on the other side of an argument from the writer and the creator. That's just a bummer. You're just giving up this thing that you love because the creator is an ass. I don't think you should have to do that necessarily. Again, there's probably a line somewhere, and I would feel differently if I was a trans person myself. I'm sure I would probably ban Harry Potter. But it just, I don't know how we fucking do this when all of these people keep doing shit that's like unforgivably stupid or hateful. But according to Bloomberg, each season of the series will cover one of the 7 Harry Potter books. And this is the kind of cool thing about this potentially happening. The idea is that by creating a television series for one season for each book, it would give them more room to explore some of the left out details from the books. Like when they were making the movies, obviously they have to do so in a way that is respectful of everybody's time. They can't just make a 6-hour movie for each book. Although I guess technically they did make 2 parts for the final book, 2 movies for the final book, but it's neither here nor there. They had to leave stuff out, and they won't have to do that as much when they do the TV series where there's a full season, presumably 10 episodes for each book. So yeah, they'll have room to further expand on plot lines that were less developed in the movies and stuff that was left out, details that were left out altogether. Now, I am a fan of the Harry Potter movies. I've seen them a whole bunch of times, probably like 20 times, all of them. And I read the first book when I was a kid, and then that was it, because like I've never been a good reader. I'm still reading The Count of Monte Cristo, for those of you who joined the RBP book club, about halfway through. So maybe by 2040, we can do a book review on The Count of Monte Cristo. But I don't particularly give a shit one way or the other about this series potentially getting made. I'm not like stoked on it. I am, however, interested to see how this unfolds, because Harry Potter fans have read every book and seen every movie multiple times, and I don't know how you replace Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter or get that audience to identify with like a new Hermione or Ron or any of the beloved characters. That just seems like a very tall task. Like, some new kids are going to have insanely big shoes to fill. They're just going to run out some other fucking dork, slap some broken glasses on him and be like, this is the new Harry.
Yeah, so I am a big fan of Harry Potter. Like, I've read all the books multiple times, seen the movies multiple times. I played the new Hogwarts game that came out.
The video game looks sick.
It's very fun. Loved it. Fucking hate the spiders, though, in there.
They scare you?
Oh, I hate spiders, yeah. So I'm just like Ron in that aspect.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm not looking forward to this. I think there are other stories to tell in like this world. And I know they did like Fantastic Beasts, which is whatever, but there's other cool shit in this world that you can tell, and you don't have to go back to
the exact same story.
Yeah. And like, yeah, there's going to be some like things that they can expand upon, but it's still like, it's not going to hit the same.
So you would have rather had like a prequel or some kind of a spin-off or something like that. Yeah. You never know which way it's going to go. Like when they announced that they were going to do the second Lord of the Rings trilogy, I was like, fuck yes, dude, I love Lord of the Rings. And like, I went and saw all 3 of them in theaters, the new ones, but they weren't very good. Like, they were like, by comparison, like, and they aged really poorly. Like, I went back and watched one of them recently and was just like, oof, it just doesn't hit the same. And like the Lord of the Rings show on Amazon that they spent $1 billion on, literally. I mean, it's all right. Like, it's okay. If you're a big Lord of the Rings fan, it's okay. And that's not a win. That means if you don't really care about Lord of the Rings, you're definitely not watching this shit.
I watched one episode. I'm not a big Lord of the Rings fan, but I watched one episode. I'm like, I'm all right.
Yeah, you're not spending 10 hours of your life on that shit. No. Absolutely not. It's not going to happen. So look, HBO is the best of the best. They rarely miss. I have a lot of faith in them. But this is also not just HBO. It's not an HBO branded property. It's HBO Max, which is like their larger deal where they're throwing more shit under the umbrella that doesn't have to be as high quality and as prestige TV, which is kind of surprising to me considering what I'm guessing is going to be a very hefty price tag to be able to buy the rights to do this.
And
so
also, like, another thing, like the location, like Hogwarts, like, are they gonna like use the same
that's what I'm saying.
place, or like are they gonna do something different? Because like, I mean, everyone knows what it looks like. Like, they're gonna be able to tell, like, oh, that's not right.
People, it's going to be upsetting to some degree. That's one of the things that's made the video game Cade just spoke to playing so successful and so cool for Harry Potter fans to play. Because you get to like, it is Hogwarts built out just like it was in the movies, right? Mm-hmm. So it feels like you're going and flying around Hogwarts on a broom and like getting to go look at all the different shit that you know.
Going like charms class or like Defense Against the Dark Arts and like all that shit, going to Hogsmeade and like just like exploring this world
that looks exactly like it did.
Yeah,
that you knew it as, right? And that's along with the characters and having to find people to fill the shoes of the kids who crushed it the first time through. You're also gonna have. What are you gonna do? Just use the same set? Like go fucking dig it up wherever that got buried at some point?
And like the thing is, like, what the last movie came out less than 15 years ago. Like it's still pretty fresh, I'd say. It's not like how like a lot of these like reboots are over 30 years old.
Yeah, like for example, 21 Jump Street, we brought it up, right?
Yeah.
I had never seen that TV show. That was like during my parents' generation's age. So like it wasn't crazy to me that they were rebooting it and turning into comedy movies. And I was like, oh, maybe this would be tight. It had a good cast and they were fun. Good movies, funny movies. Mm-hmm. I don't know how they changed Kanye from anti-Semitic to back to normal, but still good movies. But that's one of the things about Hollywood that's getting so fucking weird. It's like you're not even 20 years has passed. We're rebooting the thing. We just fucking did this. Like like people are still enjoying the first batch of movies. Like I don't know if you've gone far enough. You're enough generations removed to go and do something like this, but there's just not that many original ideas to execute on, I guess, which is something people have complained about with Hollywood for many, many years. It's how we ended up in the situation where the MCU and Marvel, that's like 50% of the new movies that come out every year.
Yeah, even those are getting kind of stale right now. They're not doing too hot, which is kind of disappointing.
I mean, eventually they were going to lose steam. Yeah. And I'm sure there will still be some more great ones that come out, but the more of them you do, the less likely you're able to repeat that. Like
capture like the same magic.
Yeah. It's really, really challenging. And something that, to Marvel's credit, they did a phenomenal job with for a lot of years. Like for a lot longer than I thought they would be able to. They were putting out movies that people were really, really stoked on and thought that they did a great job with.
Those first 10 years, they
crushed it.
Yeah. Granted, they did have a couple that were pretty trash, but still, it was far and few between.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like their shooting percentage was really, really high for a while there, and now it's kind of dropped off the face of the earth. But I mean, it's a weird place that we're in terms of creativity and new ideas and new storytelling, and hopefully it picks back up again at some point. But I don't know. I feel like that's been being said for 20 years, and now we're back to doing a Harry Potter TV series. Fucking, that's just the same 7 books, like you said. It's not even like they're going in a new direction. It's the original 7 books that they're going to be turning into TV shows. So we'll see how it goes.